that year, I didn't know that there is something that was going on. Mm-hmm. So when I was queuing, I was actually graduating. Mm-hmm. I was at All Saints Cathedral. That's why we are graduating.
With the leadership?
Yes. I received a call. Guess who is calling? Mm-hmm. The chairman, Dr. Mwangi. Mm-hmm. Tells me, Edward, where are you? I'm in town. Blah, 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 blah. This and this has happened. Would like you to act as a head teacher for now.
All this on a phone call.
No graduation.
Yes.
When do I start?
Do you want me right now?
It was one of the shocking message I received.
Really?
And you know, it is coming from the highest authority.
Yeah.
Upigiwi na HR.
You don't argue with some things. You don't argue.
Ati huko already. Let me think about it.
I don't even have time.
He is the school chairman.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to Beyond the Pulpit. This is episode 22. My name is Kahawa Mburu. Karibuni sana. We had missed filming, and as you can see, we are on a new set. Kuna episode flani, kuna show flani walisha shoot kwa studio mpya. And they should not brag, and I'm not saying that it was still me. Our other show with Silas Otieno, The Red Pill. We've already shot on this new studio, but as Beyond the Pulpit, it's our first time. So I'm going to pretend that it's my first time filming in this studio, and I've not seen it for a while. So karibuni sana to Beyond the BTP Studios. Mnaona tumefanya kazi mzuri, tumeshinda tukisema we have a studio. It's finally done and it has been functioning. I think this is week 2. It's a bit exciting. It's very exciting that now we have a place where we can start and do a lot of things. We have so many shows. We have a lot of things lined up for you guys. So now we have our own home, and we thank the Lord for that. Thank you to Hodari as well for doing the interior, for making these seats. And there's another seat on set where we can accommodate so many podcasts, as many as you want. We have so many shows on our channel. Just make sure you've subscribed on BTP Kenya, BTP Studios Kenya. That's our YouTube page. Make sure you've watched whichever show that you feel is your cup of tea. We have Beyond the Pulpit, which is our mother show. We have the Red Pill Conversations. We have TFC, where they do documentaries, movie reviews, series reviews, all of that, books. And we have our Soul's Delight, which is our newest release, where we have a bunch of guys who sing songs. And unaweza enda uchungulie uone venye hawa watu wako na sauti za kutoa nyoka pangoni. I mean, they have such amazing voices, and we thank God that they're using them to glorify the Lord. So whichever show that you've had, yenye iko hapo unasikia na kubamba, just subscribe. Channel ni ile. Just subscribe, and we will be happy that you're supporting us. We are looking forward to growing. We are looking forward to more subscribers, to more shows. Our goal is to have at least 7 shows every single day of the week, from Monday to Sunday, at least 1 show airing. And so far we have 4. So 3 more to go. All right. So thank you. Karibuni sana. I hope you've been well. My guest today is someone known well by the people on set. The people here have interacted with him one way or another. They've been taught by him. So he's a teacher. He has been a head teacher at a school called KBA, Kahawa Baptist Academy. For the longest time, he has been an educator for the longest time. And now he is heading a school. He has his own thing going on. And he is an author of this book. So we are going to talk about this book in a few minutes. So yeah, our guest today is Edward Mburu. Nasikia tu wakimwita Sir Edward, Teacher Edward, whatever you want to call him. He's Edward Mburu, an author, an educator. He's going to tell us every other thing. So I am excited to have him on set. So mwalimu, Teacher Edward, yes. Sir Edward, karibu sana to BTP. Najua tumekuzungusha sana. If people knew what has gone into having you here on this seat, tumecancel mara nyingi sana, but karibu finally to BTP.
Yes.
Exciting to have you here. Karibu sana. I can't wait to hear your story. I can't wait for the audience to listen to you today.
Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that welcome. As you have heard, my name is Edward. Many, as you have heard, they call me Teacher Edward. Out there, call me Sir Edward. And I thank God for all these titles. I'm privileged to be here today in this studio, and it's an honor. It's a great honor. I really thank God.
Karibu sana.
Yes, please.
Aye. So, najua tulisha kupatia brief before them.
Yes.
So at BTP, or when you're here on set, or Beyond the Pulpit, what we aim to do is to get to show who Edward is. Edward's story. Teacher Edward. Na sijua nikisema Teacher Edward itakuwa na feel nika itakuwa imekulimit to the teaching bit. But we are here to know about Edward Mburu entirely.
Okay.
We will briefly talk about your upbringing. And then we will get into the rest, your salvation, how you got into teaching, how you wrote this book, what this book is about, your school, your experience as a head teacher. Like, we will get to know about Edward Mburu entirely. I don't know if we can know you entirely, but whatever we can milk out of you today, or whatever details that we can get out of you today, we are going to, and I'm going to try my best to ask the right questions. And I know my co-host anajua na maybe isura unaikumbuka, mli-interact na yeye huku kwa hii shule fulani yenye ulikuwa head teacher. Yes. Na sijui kama ulikuwa unamchapa. Leo ni ile siku tu unaweza sema tu kweli, uchome tu lari.
Sifungo hizo wounds.
Uchome tu lari, utuambie kama alikuwa kijana mzuri anafanya homework ama alikuwa tu kichwa ngumu.
Kwanza anashindwa lari ni nani? Najua alikaita Jogona.
Ni Jogona. So today we're talking with Jogona. Hata kama uko na maswali, if you want to heal your wounds, trauma wounds, today is the day. Ask him what. I'm joking. Hatuko hapa kukuchomea, but we are going to talk about you.
Yes.
So let's just get straight into it. Let's start with Edward Mburu, where you grew up, where you've schooled. And then we will talk about your salvation story, or maybe along the way, as you're telling us about your story, at the point where you got saved, utuambie, and then now we will get into teaching and your career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you once again. As you have heard, my name is Edward Mburu.
Yeah.
Moiruri, the surname. I grew up far from Nairobi, in a place called Irebu, in Murang'a County.
Okay.
I grew up in a family of 8. I'm actually the 5th.
8 children.
8 children.
Okay.
I'm number 5 in our family. And I went to school at Ilebu Primary School. Thereafter, I went to high school, Kirogo High School. Kirogo High School.
Okay.
Actually, is near Kahawa Girls. And I thank God because of my parents for taking me to school, because I know such opportunity can only arise if God privileged you to go to school and what have you. And I was privileged to go to school and show me the doors of schools and what have you. I'm also born again. I got born again in Form 2 when I was Kirogo High School. And I want to say that is the time that my life turned around. The time I met Christ. Because there before, just like a normal human being, I grew in thinking that I'm well equipped. It is until I met Christ I realized I was running short of ideas, short of many things. But when I encountered Christ, He turned around my life, and up to date, I'm still walking in that path. And that is the decision I made to leave this world.
Form 2.
Form 2.
Wow.
Yes. After I left Form 4, my desire was to become an IT guy. I even today I love things to do with the computers and what have you.
Really? Nice.
But I don't know what happened, because when I left Form 4, I found my father so much interested with the teaching. You can't imagine, he even went beyond to college, private, not even government, and brought a letter for admission. That is Kamagambo Adventist College, Teachers College. Found that it is at Kisii. And when I found the letter on the table, I had no other choice but to join teaching.
Really?
Yes.
This was your dad's decision for you?
It was my dad's decision.
You wanted to do IT?
Yes.
And you got the grades for it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I decided not to rebel. I just joined the teaching.
Why? Unge rebel?
My dad was a bit tough guy.
Oh, okay.
So rebel, my friend. Maybe at some point I would have faced some love. But I decided to join teaching. Little did I know that even God himself, he had some stuff for me in this teaching profession. Today, that's the time I discover that God wanted me to pass through that line first before I do another course. Because after I left college...
You said Gladys Adventist?
No. It is Kamagambo Teachers College.
Oh,
it is a Adventist college.
Oh.
A 7th day.
Oh, okay.
It's a private institution.
Okay.
When I was actually there, God used me in a mighty way to transform many lives. Many lives. That is teachers, fraternity, whom we are schooling together with. And after I left there and I started the job, and I can assure you, God started using me in turning young destinies to God. I came to discover that is something that I wouldn't have done if I went to do an IT.
Yeah.
Because according to his purpose, I came to realize, to discover, he wanted me to go through that route, because there is something when he created me, he put inside me that can help many students. And today, I'm a very proud guy because of many people who have passed through my hands. I have not only passed the knowledge to them, but I've also passed something great they can enjoy, even that is beyond academic, and which is more important, that is God. Knowing God and laying a foundation that can make them great men and women. And today, I'm proud seeing what most of these guys have become in our country, even beyond Kenya.
I can attest.
Yeah.
I can attest. I've been through his hand. Hey, it was great. I feel like everyone will say the same. Everyone who was in my class, Mwalimu.
Yes.
So, I can nakusikiza like, kabisa. Anyway.
You've
made an impact.
There's a testimony here.
Yeah, the fact that I'm sitting right here. Some people will avoid their primary school teachers. Yeah. He was my head teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just, and my head teacher and my CRE teacher.
Oh,
yeah.
No way.
So lesson ilikuanga someone kwanza ipate ni double,
lesson ilikuwa someone.
He's the head teacher. So ipate ati CRE PE.
Asma tu yo PE wapi? Naenda kucheza badala msikize word.
Naenda ametengeneza timetable.
Itabidi mmesikiza word.
Bwana to preach, yeah. It was amazing.
So I'm curious, by the time unaokoka ulikuwa form 2.
Yes.
So join college, did you start participating in CU? Were you participating before you were a believer, ama you started after? And then by meaning that you've impacted people's lives by telling them about God, were you preaching to people, or were you just, unajua kuna preaching na kuna evangelizing? There's a difference. Yes. So which one, what were you most active in?
Thank you for that question. When I left Form 4, God has ways of connecting you with destiny connectors. I found guys who are ready for me and who are set and prepared by God for me. Because when I left Form 4, I met guys who are older than me, who are well rooted in the Word of God. And they walked with me very well. They taught me the Word. They showed me how to pray. Actually, we used to report to church, our home church, Ushago. You can't imagine, 5 a.m. And it was a mandatory. You must be there by 5.
Muranga?
Yes.
5 and it's cold.
Yes.
Where?
And it used to go between 5 and 8. You used to stop, to terminate that session every day.
Prayers.
5 prayers.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I was grounded in God's, the God's word. People may just look at you today, but they don't know where you are coming from.
True.
And the price that you have paid.
True.
And the people that God came and hold your hands. The other day, last December, I was at Heaven's Gate in prayers. And I met one of those guys. He's a high school teacher. It's called Mike. He's a teacher, Michael. Teaches in one of the schools in high school in Thika. And I reminded him how he helped us to become who we are today. And he was very, very, very much excited. So my journey, today people are just seeing the result of something that was planted a number of years back. So many, many years back. And I'm so grateful because even myself, I feel that I have a role to play in many young's lives. Because if that thing was planted inside me, they have a job to do also. To other people.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it. Yes, so I used to evangelize and sometimes I used to make a lot of mistakes in the church and I used to be corrected.
By older preachers.
Yes, by the older preachers and what have you. I've walked through, people have really helped me to become who I am today. I've made a lot of mistakes, so many mistakes, just as a normal human being. But I thank God because I found great generals, people who are great mentors, who used to help me, to mentor me, tell me, we don't say like this, we say like this. We don't do this at this time, we do it this way. And I'm so happy because God had seen 1st February 2025, 20 years, 30 years down the line.
Yeah.
He had seen it. And I'm so happy. And today I'm confessing and telling the world how things have been. It has not been a walk in the park. It has been tough. But by God's grace, I am whom I am today.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So, college. Nimesahau jina hiyo shule tena.
Kamagabo Teachers College.
Kamagabo Teachers College. So, I'd want you to tell us about a very significant time during your years in Kamagambo, when you were maybe preaching or evangelizing to, I know you've had many of those encounters with people, but maybe 2 or 3 that really, that you remember, you're like, wow, I really preached, what is it called? Ministered to this person and I've seen God saving them.
Kamagambo, it was my first college since I left Form 4. And, Adventists, they are very strict. They are very strict. SDAs, they are very strict. Yeah. You dare joke aloud, you find yourself terminated.
Joke around how? With salvation, school rules, you may break school rules.
School rules and what have you. There being a church organization, a college, what have you, there are things that you must abide. And I can say that they help me because many people get lost in colleges. That is
given. It's public knowledge.
Yes, many people actually they go there and they are very innocent, but they end up messing and destroying their destinies without their knowledge. But I want to thank that college really shaped me. the strict rules that I found there helped me to become a teacher who I am today. Nevertheless, of course, there are always shortcomings here and there. But because you cannot find an institution that is perfect, in quote. As far as human beings are learning that institution, there will be always some weaknesses. But one thing I would say that I encountered in that college, it is the way you interact with the people, the relationship between you and other people.
Students.
They really captivated on that. Myself and the students, myself and other colleagues. Actually, there is a lot of that was planted in that school. Because I came to discover, you cannot be able to read people you don't love. You cannot be able to teach children about God and about how to pass in mathematics and what have you, if you don't love them. Yes, sometimes you may discipline them. It's not because you hate them. It's because you are seeing their destiny. You are seeing this guy, they can't see what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You can see what they'll become.
I
But
think you
today
should tell Larry.
Naona venye ananiangalia.
Unafaa kuambia Larry huku unamchapa juu unamchukia. You saw something.
Yes,
Sasa ndo naelewa.
There's a seed you saw.
Yes. So hao jamaa hawaelewi.
Hawakwa trust me.
Hawaelewi.
Don't share that. Hakuna mtu anaweza kuwa anaelewa. Umenichapa juu sasa nimekosa kufunga tai. Sasa unanichapia.
Ofisi yake at Edward, unajua ukikosea walimu wengine wanasema acha tu nikutume kwa head teacher.
Uongo.
We. Na head teacher pia unajua.
Unatuma kwa chini unajua this is done.
It's done, alafu ukute pia the teacher akona class next 1 hour. So unajua hiyo class ni wewe na yeye. So lazima ushinde ukiinua mkono unajibu kila kitu. Unajua no.
Ndio upunguze makosa.
There's no wrong answer. Wewe bora tu participation.
Unasikia sasa I think amepata message that you did not hate me.
Haukuwa na ubaya.
Hadi sikuwa na ubaya. Hata leo sikuwa
na ubaya. Oh, okay.
Yes. So Kamagabo really molded me to be who I am today. And I thank God, I got a lot of favor in that college. Out of I think you were about over 800 plus.
800 students.
Yes.
In the
I
class?
was chosen. No, the team that was graduating.
Oh.
I was chosen to be their chairman. To be their chairman, to organize for the graduation, what have you.
Really?
And to give a speech.
During the graduation?
Yes, during the graduation. It's such a great honor.
Oh wow.
So to me, there is something that God was doing in preparation for what I was entering into in the future. So I thank God. I thank God.
Hii shule ni Adventist.
Yes.
It's an Adventist school. Na umeokoka. Did you find, I know it's Adventist Ren, but
yes.
Did they, on Sundays maybe, did you have these preachings from people from the SDA church? Was there that? Because I can imagine as a Baptist,
The
because I'm a
transition.
Baptist, no, not even the transition. I'm a Baptist, I'm in an Adventist school, or I'm a Baptist and I'm in a Catholic. Kuna hizo differences in how they do things. How they go to church on Saturday, I go to church on Sunday. They believe in this doctrine, we don't believe, or we believe in a different doctrine. Did you find that in the school?
Yes. You know, SDA, they are very strict.
Very, I know.
Very strict.
Usivae skirt. Usivae longi, unyoe nywele, usivae earrings. Kwanza for ladies, dreadlocks.
Yes.
Ningekuonyesha fukuzwa kanisa.
Ai.
Okay, saizi wamechange.
Oh.
It's adapting into the new world.
Ni progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were those restrictions, and you know, I didn't have any other option but to comply with.
When you go to Rome,
Just live like
when you go to Rome, yeah.
Like on Fridays, when it hits 4 p.m., be ready, start preparing to go to church. If you are caught, my friend, washing clothes, if I don't do many other things,
Oh.
that is one of the greatest offense.
You're not supposed to work.
Yes, you're not supposed to work.
From Friday 4 p.m. to Saturday?
Yes, you have to prepare for the Sabbath.
No, you're preparing for Saturday.
For Saturday, yes.
Sabbath.
And Sabbath starts Friday, that allowed 5, 6 p.m. You're in the church now.
Oh.
That
Sabbath
time,
between
that time,
Ready.
yes. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot even travel. It is against first day. Yes.
mpaka sahi.
Yes, even now.
Okay.
So it was so difficult for me because to me, Saturday, that's the time I used to go to dig and what I
Yeah, Saturday ni siku ya kufua nguo. Hata tukikuwa high school ni siku ya kufua, ni siku ya kucheza, siku ya kufanya sijui tara cleaning.
Yes. Now you find yourself on a Saturday, that's the time tunaenda kanisa. Unashangaa.
Kutoka asubuhi
Church. And then Sunday, that's the time now unaenda kufanya kazi. You are not understand.
Kabla ushike waya.
It took time for me to adapt to that.
Alafu is it Saturday the whole day?
Yes, up to 3 there.
No, church is up to 3 then. No, from 3.
Church is up to 1. Then you have break. Just within. You just a little watering within. Then the evening from 4 now, you are now free.
Sabbath imeisha sasa.
Sabbath
No, you
imeisha.
can go wash your
So you
clothes.
can
Go wash your clothes.
We, mlikuwa mnakula?
Yes.
Like lunch is not working. Lunch you can eat.
Yeah, lunch you can
okay.
eat.
Before
Lunch you can eat.
before the school that he was my teacher, I was in an SDA school. So tulikuwa naendanga Saturday. Lazima service kuna chakula. Is it like ama tulikuwa tunaenda ama is it always like that? That on Saturday you have kuna food ready.
Yes, we used to eat. I didn't see any problem with that. They used to prepare meals just as normal. It was only that the timing was changing. If the service had been prolonged a bit, then you had to wait and what have you.
Okay.
Yes.
You can't eat before the service is
Yes,
done.
obvious.
Wow.
Obvious.
That is a strict church. SD is one strict
Yes.
church, but I think it's always for the best. I mean, from someone from the outside, I can't understand why they do such things until
Yes.
I get to do
You
them.
get inside.
Yeah, until you get to do them. So you went to Magambo and then you said you went to a couple of colleges.
Yes, after Kamagabu, now I went teaching. I started teaching.
You started teaching?
Yes.
Your first job was at which school?
Shalom Academy.
Wapi?
Timoranga.
At this point ujaingia Nairobi bado?
Ni bado sijaingia Nairobi.
Bado.
Niko tu ushago huko.
Wow. Okay. Shalom.
And Shalom Academy, it was it is a private institution managed by a leverage called Ada Mwangi. By that time he was a principal in one of the high school in Murang'a. And I enjoyed teaching, even if I was not earning good money.
I can imagine.
But I just wanted to teach.
Yeah.
I had a passion.
At this point, Usha settled that I'm not going to do IT. Teaching is...
Yes. Now I have started now developing some interest
in teaching. And you've accepted that this is God's will.
Yes. Bado sija accept.
Bado.
Sija accept.
Wow, okay.
Bado I'm still in the line now asking myself. No, what's nini nimekuja.
Hizi ninashinda tu ninalia kutoka asubuhi hadi jioni.
But I thank God because God now started proving me wrong. Because my first class I had was, I made the school, it was learning. And now I was given a class 8. There were not very many kids. I think there were about 10, what have you.
Umetoka tu college, umepatiwa class 8.
Yes.
Hey,
and
okay.
I taught my first attempt to teach. I was teaching mathematics. I love maths so much. It's my best actually. And I remember in the whole of Murang'a, that time it used to be called Murang'a districts. I was number 3 in mathematics.
Really? Your class?
Yes.
Wow.
I was even awarded a trophy and a certificate by the government.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was such, that is the time now God started telling me now, you can see. I started now seeing, hey, I can do something. I can do something. And from that time, the impact, I could feel the impact. And now started believing myself as a teacher, oh, I can make it now. Such great achievement. You can try to imagine Murang'a, it's so many schools.
Yeah. Number
So
3.
many-
Yo,
number 3.
that's a lot. That
Yes.
shows that you really put some things in these children. Uliwafunza mathematics wakaelewa.
Kabisa.
Okay.
And then that's the time now after I learned in that school. There was also a spiritual implication, which I also came to discover in that school, that God wanted me to deal with. I have come to discover, even when you go to college and university and whatever, it's always good to ask God, what did you create me to do? Before you make that decision. Because if God is not in that course you are doing, chances are you will struggle a lot. You will struggle a lot. Because in every course that we do, there is spiritual implication that is tied in that course you are doing. And more so if you are a believer. If you are a believer. Whether you go to work in Safaricom, there is something spiritual God wants to do in that company. Whether you want to become a farmer, there is something that God has wired in that course that will help somebody somewhere to know this God that you believe in. Because after all is said and done, the final and the end result is, what will you become? What impact will you leave behind? Eternal legacy. We call it eternal legacy. Because after you have worked and you have earned money and you have done all manner of sort of things, what else have you left the world to enjoy? Because of course one day you have to exit the universe. And it came to my mind that this teaching profession, it is not the way I was thinking. Because I realized the children there were struggling us a bit. And I remember working with teachers so closely to help those children align spiritual systems. And we really helped so many children there. And I discovered the moment I was done, I now had to exit. And it was just a smooth way. I was admitted at KBA.
Really?
That's the time now I came to this place.
Oh, okay.
After my job was done. And
so apart from teaching mathematics, you are also helping kids, nurturing them spiritually.
Yes.
So that's when you're talking about spiritual implications, that's what you're meaning, that you have a duty spiritually in a certain place, not just working. Si kufunza tu mathematics na kuenda.
Yes.
There's something you have to impact someone with.
Making the learners understand that even this science you study about, this English you study about, whatever you are studying, it is related to the Creator, the one who created you. And there is something you want to know, you need to know more about also Him, which you cannot be able to understand if you are not in Christ.
True.
Because of course the world cannot help you to understand these things.
True.
And when it is something that is so hidden, it is so hidden that many teachers have not discovered this. They're just going to teach secularly and what have you.
Secularly.
Yes.
Umefunza tu bora umefunza.
Yes, bora umefunza because you went to college and what have you. And,
And
you
have
exit
to-
and go. And that's why you find there are a lot of issues in the Saturday. Because ask yourself a question. How can God entrust you with 5 souls, young souls, children, very young, very innocent? They may be in class 8, they may be in grade 2. How do you think God can entrust you? You are a teacher. God has given you 5 souls. You are not their father, you are not their mother, but God amekupatia those children. He created them, then He has given you those children to teach them. If God is not concerned about those souls, then you go and mess them up. It is so dangerous And that's why the Bible says the teachers will be judged harshly. Because I can tell you today, many in teaching profession, they have destroyed and terminated the destinies of many people. People today are struggling outside there because they are teachers. Teachers somewhere cut them without their knowledge. Why? Why am I saying this? As a teacher, you are in a position of authority. Just like a parent, the father and the mother of that child. There is something God has given teachers and parents that is so unique. He gives them the grace. Because to man a class of that children, you need grace. These children come from different backgrounds. You are only one handling them in that lesson.
Yeah.
How do you make them to listen to you? It's only God who can help. God give you the grace to understand them. Some of them mess. They actually mess literally. They offend you. You have to have a heart of also understanding. These are children also. And you cannot, you have a heart of understanding them. And sometimes, you cannot keep on all the time beating them every day. When you discipline them today, tomorrow pray for them. You may not pray for them in their presence, but in your own closet, just go and do something spiritual. And God may intervene. So that they may also understand what you are teaching them because of what they will become in future. So you realize that in my teaching job, I have experienced that in a deep way. And I've also helped many teachers outside there. And I thank God. So when I left Shalom Academy, I landed here. KBA school.
Kahawa Baptist Academy.
Kahawa Baptist Academy. Just as a mere teacher.
Which year was this?
Year 2003. That's when I came to this school.
Sitaki kusema lakini kuna watu kwa hii set wako wamezaliwa. Tuendelee.
That's when unataka kusema Mike ama hatusemi Mike, hatujasema Mike but
hatusemi ni director. Hatujasema ni director. Tunasema tu kuna watu wako wamezaliwa.
Yes.
2000.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. As a teacher.
Yes.
Just a teacher teaching mathematics still?
Yes, teaching mathematics, science, CRI. Those are my main subjects.
Mathematics, science, and theory.
Yes.
Kweli kufunza?
CRI peke yake.
So 2003 you joined KBA. I like before now we get into KBA, I like what you said about teachers impacting students.
Man.
By the I've never thought of it. You know me same. I you just see a teacher hapo mbele na kufunza, you like okay, wewe enda home sasa umenivo. Unaanza tu kuiona. And you don't know the role they're playing in your lives. Sometimes it's sad to say that most teachers, the only thing they impacted you is that science they were teaching you, and that's it. Wamekuja wamekufunza parts of the body, sijui skin. I can't even.
You've never looked at it how it's said it.
Yeah, I've never looked at it as this one might be impacting my life, either spiritually or even telling me real life issues. Like I've never.
Chuweze anaweza akona shamba mahali anafaa kwa kilima, but ako hapa.
Imagine.
Anang'ang'ana na hisi aringe kwa kichwa umse.
Imagine. Na anakuombea. Mimi kwanza hapo kwa unaenda home. Anakuombea uelewe. Wewe ujiombe uelewe. Ushaeka kwa akili yako science ni ngumu. Teacher Edward anabo. Ama teacher sijui nani anabo. I don't need to understand. But he's
anaomba.
He's praying for you to understand.
Ashike hisi ari.
Na mathematics. Kwanza maths najua watu walikuwa wanapata 02 na 12. Bado Edward anakuombea. Hey, wow. That I've never had that from a teacher, and that's amazing. That's wow. I wish more teachers are like you. Tungekuwa dawase wazito sana. Si kushinda unapata, unajua umesema teachers wounding students, and that's true. Unajua there's a joke that people say, mwalimu wa maths aliniambia siendi mbali lakini niko hapa. But how many times have you heard of people saying that my teacher told me I'd amount to nothing? My teacher told me that I will be a beggar. Nitakuwa chokora. Nitakuwa makanga. So many times we've had teachers speak things to children's lives, and it's sad that some people take that and go home and they run with it, believing that they'll amount to nothing, and it's sad. I wish more teachers were just kinder and more careful with what they're telling their students, because like you said, they're in a position of authority, so whatever they say is very impactful in their life.
Very.
Because
Positively or negatively.
Positively or negatively, and a lot of times it's negative.
Because as a student ama as a people, you're just seated there, niwe na kuamini kenye utasema naenda tunayo.
Okay.
Very true. Actually, you're saying a very unique point. Students, and I would like to take you back to a 3 years old child in baby class. Today we call it playgroup.
Yeah, playgroup.
When the teachers introduce these learners to different subjects, and the students start scribbling, what have you. When they go home, they have started maybe understanding sound and what have you. I would like you to go and do this investigation. And the parent, maybe they want to teach at home. What the teacher, maybe they want to repeat what the teacher said in the class. And at some point, mommy makes some error, some mistake. Say a sound in a different way, the way this child was taught. The child will tell the mom, teacher said. What does that tell you?
They have really taken the teacher's words.
Yes.
Oh.
When I say a teacher is in a position of authority, I mean that whatever a teacher said to a child, the work of the child is to confirm. Teacher said, I am good for nothing. Teacher said, for sure, I am good for nothing.
Wow.
I am useless, for sure. If the teacher said it, who am I to say no? If the teacher said, I am a great and I'll become great, teacher said it.
Yeah.
I'm going to work towards becoming a great person. So these are the mysteries. You know, the kingdom of God is full of mysteries. Hidden treasures that people don't understand. When you hear about the hidden mysteries, these are things that just like the way Jesus asked the disciples, whom do people say I am? And some said you are a prophet, some said you are this and that. And then Jesus turned back to Peter and asked Peter, and you, Peter, what do you say I am? And Peter said, you are a son of God. He looked him back. He looked back to him and told him, flesh and blood has not revealed to you, but my Father has revealed to you. Wow. It tells you that there are some things that are hidden. Only God can reveal. And I want to thank God because God has revealed to me this.
Wow.
These are things that are so hidden to many teachers. And that's why I've taken that endeavor of going loud. Today, I go loud. I train a lot. I train teachers a lot. Before I left this school, the teachers, I can tell you, I have trained teachers, yes, in a big way. I go to many school, trained parents, teaching them many things and all of it. Why? Because there is something God put in my heart and helped me to discover that I have realized the world has not discovered yet. Yes.
It's true hapo kwa ulikuwa una train teachers. We used to come to school then. Unasikia walimu wako meeting na teacher Edward. Unajua ni around 2 hours. So kwa umefanya conversation.
Kuna time yako. Ya kuscribble something down.
Ukisikia tu wako na meeting. Unajua kama uko umefanya then it was homework, not assignment. Unajua basi itakaa.
Oh, kuna difference ya homework na assignment.
Na sasa for here in school is homework. Assignment is
campus. I like what you said that you've trained other teachers, because a lot of times you don't find people doing that. Mtu amekupatia, God amekupatia gift or something, God has impacted you with something and you're supposed to share it to the world, but you're like, nah, hata usi Mungu awaongeleshe. Ama you figure it out on your own, but you've taken it upon yourself to share this knowledge with other teachers so that you can make the world a better place.
Very true.
Wow.
Very true.
Aya, so 2003 umeingia KBA as a teacher.
Yes.
Larry hata hakuwa ameingia shule bado.
Tulipatana hiyo tu.
Nisingi.
Huyo hata
Huyo mtoto wa 2000 end.
Uzuri hii baridi na huwa watu wazee. So mimi niko safe.
Unajua tuko safe. Kuna watu fulani hapa.
Wazee.
Hata si wazee peke yake, kuna Sam. Kuna Yana hapa pia hako amezaliwa. Unajua tuko na watoto wengi and you've interacted with this one. So when we are
walimu interact na almost everyone hapa.
Our 2003 by the time unaingia ndo anazaliwa, hata ndomeno hata ngo. Sasa sisi ndo tunaweza kuwa
uli interact na mwalimu
when
au kwanza moja watu walikuwa top student
class 3 hadi class 8. Kwanza unajulikana juu huyu top student na Sam
class 4 mpaka 6.
Alikufunza what subject? Science. Na wewe?
Theory. Science at some point. Math class 1.
Math. Si unaona mafans wako?
Yes.
Mafans wako ni wengi.
Ni mafans wangu.
Ni mafans wako wanafaa kusaina, wanafaa kununua vitabu. To support you, they need to buy books because you impacted them with a lot.
Yes.
Wanafaa kila mtu anafaa kununua kitabu.
Wamesikia.
Sawa Larry,
umesikia?
Good, amekuja na copies nyingi.
Tachukua 2.
Wewe kwanza 2 unapeleka hadi mama namwambia hii ni
azata ni zangu, nikimaliza moja naanza nyingine.
Basi. Good. Yes. So now KBA, this is why you've taught the longest. Kutoka 2003 you left in 2021, you said? 2021. That's how many years? That's 19 years. That is the entire life of Michael Hosea. Maisha yote ya Mike umefunza huku. Wow. So how did you learn the job at KBA? Sasa ndio mara yako, si mara yako ya kwanza juu nasikia umesomea Ushago, umefunza Ushago. Now this is a school in Nairobi.
How I landed here, it is, I think it's miraculous.
Oh, wow.
This church, Baptist, they used to come to hold crusades in our place.
In Murang'a?
Yes.
Really? We need to talk to...
They used to come and hold crusades. And you know that time I was also young, I used to... More so when I left Form 4. Miano, Deacon Miano used to... He's a keyboardist. A very... That guy very skillful. Kenos.
Deacon
Miano.
Miano pia Kenos ako kwa guitar.
My friend, when the time Miano used to play that thing.
You hapo umenishtua kidogo.
He is very good.
Really?
Very good. Excellent. That guy is
akona talanta ameficha. Najua ata watch. He will watch this one. So kuna talanta ameficha bwana.
I used to admire him so much.
Wow.
Hata yeye by the way asikue modest.
Hata yeye. Hata wewe chego tunajua muziki.
Yes, muziki naupenda. Acha nikwambie. Hiyo kitu.
Love it.
So they used to come wanakaa 1 week. Sasa sisi we are the host. So unajaribu kujifred na hawa watu. Kwanza Miano is an outgoing guy.
Yes, very much.
That time alikuwa campus. Kama alikuwa amemaliza campus in all of you. And unaona jamaa amesoma. So you want to relate to them because there is something you want to tap from them. And in the process, I started now meeting new guys from this Baptist. Hey, pastors and what have you. Dr. Mwangi. You know Dr. Mwangi now. He come from both sides.
Yeah.
But I used to hear Dr. Mwangi and what have you. He's a guy who is highly respected.
Yeah.
So watu kama hao wakaribiage sana.
Kabla ufike.
Hata Ushago kabla ufikie kwanza
kuna.
So when you see them in the village coming to hold crusade and all of you, unapea heshima zao. But at the same time you just say hi. And that's when I came to discover that there is a school called, they used to call it Kahawa Baptist Academy. Na nilikuwa nauliza, walikuwa nakuja na van. I think it was the only van they had. A very old matatu. Ilikuwa ya white. Ndio walikuwa nakuja nayo, inaleta instrument, what have you. Na imeandikwa Kahawa Baptist Academy. Na nikajiuliza, sasa mimi nitakaa ushago hadi. I need to go to town. And start teaching. Yes. And I brought my application. Zinakaa, hakuna nafasi. It is until 2023 they called me for an interview.
No, 2003.
Yes, sorry, 2003. And I came and found this panel of guys, wazee, daktari, the chairman, mandikons hapo. Kina ni watu najua.
Okay.
But I assumed I don't know them. I did the interview. Then they told me to go. If there will be a vacancy, they will call me. Then kukakaa ndio hiyo nimeitwa.
Wow.
That's how I landed here. When I landed here, after 2 weeks, 1 month, I looked at the system and I wondered now, kwani nikuja wapi? Things are very tight here. Very tight. I remember going to one of the teacher by name Teacher Immaculate. Today she teaches at Iriara group of schools. I went to her and told her, now, I'm seeing myself not be able to cope in this place.
Really?
I just want to go back to where I was. I just want to go back to Ushago. But I remember that lady and another teacher called Teacher Charles. Teacher Charles went to teach in a government. They sat me down. That time I was very young. They were my older sister and my older brother. They mentored me and they told me, brother, let me tell you, we have been here. If system you find they are a bit tough on you, just take time. You adapt very soon. Because my intention was to just
let it go.
Quit and go back. And let me tell you, I stayed for 2 months and the system I got adjusted to the system. And I started coping. I started loving the praise. Wow.
So it just needed a little time. Just a little time and patience.
Yes. You know, this comfort zone is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Because, there, nilikuwa nimezoea pale. But now here comes in a new environment, you feel nobody is appreciating you, what nilikuja? I thought I came to the church, in quote, You expect in the church everything is running smoothly. There are no challenges.
Kundo utazipata.
But I thank God because of those two guys. They really held my hand. And look at what God has done through me. Little did I know that God had an idea, had a divine purpose for me in this school.
Yeah.
Because after a short while, I was appointed as a departmental head. That is year 2005. I became the departmental head of mathematics because I started now challenging teachers. Why are we teaching like this? Why can't we teach like this? I remember even one day going to the head teacher. That time was called Bonamonga, and tell him, I see this school, we are wasting a lot of time. And I see there is a better way we can do things here. And he gave me a platform. And he called for a meeting. And I went to the board, I remember, challenging them.
With other teachers now?
Yes, because that time the school was not performing that well, what have you. And we looked at the loopholes where we were actually wasting time. And I analyzed the whole thing. And because we had a head teacher who had a listening ear, he listened. And we were able to address that. And slowly by slowly, we started going back on the track. With the help of other teachers, the head teacher by then, Teacher Mwonga. I became the departmental head for sports. And I also love sports.
So you are
much.
very active.
Very. Yeah, up to date. I'm very active. I do
wow.
many things.
Wow.
Departmental head in mathematics. And now I realize that I have a lot to do in this place. Mimi ni wale watu wanajitumanga kazi. I don't wait for you to tell me. When I realize something is messy, I have to address it.
Yeah.
Because I always work in this principle. If it must be done, I should be the one doing it, not the other person. I should be.
Yeah.
And that principle has helped me a lot in my career. And I continue like that. Then I became the senior teacher, heading academic and what have you.
Wow.
This is now the board, the chairman, Dr. Mwangi and the team. So it's good to promote me to a senior teacher and what have you.
They saw your work.
Bado kamshahara kanaenda kakipanda.
Wow.
Sasa unaona hasa hata motivation inaanza kuingia.
Yeah.
Umeona, ube there is hope. And I thank God in year 2009, I decided to enroll myself with a leadership course in town, a diploma course. Because I realized now I'm becoming a leader, I need to get more skills. I did a diploma within 1 year. I had done it.
Wow.
In that course, it is a leadership Christian institute. You had to read about 21 books of leadership.
21 books on leadership.
Yes. Over 90% were John Maxwell books. And other related books in leadership. I can tell you, because tulimalizia na 21 laws of leadership by John Maxwell. It was so impactful. That's why I came to discover that if you are a leader and no one is following you, you are just taking a walk. You're just taking a walk.
You're taking a walk.
Because leadership position is about influence. Leadership is about influence. And people will never follow you if you have no impact in their lives.
True.
And that's how, when I also came to discover that you can never lead people you don't love. You never lead people you don't love.
Hiyo si ngumu kidogo juu sasa in the workplace there's your favorite person.
Yes.
There's one that you see and you're like, oh my God.
So you have to work out ways on how you can make them feel you in their heart. In their heart.
That's very deep.
Yes.
Kabla impact msee hivyo vyote.
Yes.
That takes a lot of work.
Takes
And grace.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
All those things
You're
we
doing
learn.
this to so many people.
Yeah.
Because imagine watu wako KBA, staff iko KBA.
Hey,
Yes.
that's a lot of people. So did you get to do the same thing you were doing at Shalom, where you're impacting students' lives spiritually? Did you do the same thing here? Ama the system here did not allow, at KBA did not allow you to do so?
I came with it, but at some point I had to retreat a bit because I had first of all to learn the system, this place, to know where to get in. You know, you don't just go and vamia, pop
Yeah.
things. You
When
go
you
and
get-
find these are new people, different environment. I'm told we are in town now, we're not in Sharks. You know, that thing.
Watu
You're in
Ushago na
town.
watu wa Nairobi.
Watu wa Ushago na watu wa Nairobi, my friend. Hiyo sasa unakalia kiti kwanza unakaa. Parents, the way they react, it's not the way they react to Ushago.
That's very true.
Ukiangalia mtoto vibaya huku, my friend, kwanza.
Hiyo ni kesi
Kwanza,
already.
unaweza enda, it can go beyond. So you're very careful. You're very careful. You had to learn all those things. But I thank God because I didn't struggle for long to adjust. So that now, after I realized the system how they run, now I started slowly by slowly introducing new things, being a spiritual person, sometimes going for devotion, sharpen teachers, I'm able to do things to do with God, watoto. But I'm not going deep. Now I'm not the head teacher.
Pole.
Mimi ni departmental head pale. Huwezi ukafanya vitu ambavyo
It is not in your job description. Yeah.
But with the time, I got a platform now to doing what.
When you became head teacher now?
I became the head teacher in year 2010.
2010.
But before then, when I became the senior teacher, I was now promoted to the deputy head teacher.
Ah.
And now when the former head teacher exited, I had now as a deputy, I was the only person who would have taken the position. That time, things were tight.
2010.
Kwanza that year. I remember that year, I didn't know that there is something that was going on. So when I was queuing, I was actually graduating. I was at All Saints Cathedral. That's why we are graduating.
With the leadership?
Yes. I received a call. Guess who is calling? The chairman, Dr. Mwangi. Tells me, Edward, where are you? I'm in town. Blah, 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 blah. This and this has happened. Would like you to act as a head teacher for now.
All this on a phone call?
No graduation.
When
do I start?
Do you want me right now?
It was one of the shocking message I received.
Really?
And it is coming from the highest authority.
Yeah.
Upigiwi na HR.
You don't argue with some things. You don't argue.
Ati huku are ready. Let me think about it.
I don't even have time.
He's the school chairman.
Yeah.
Guess what? I told myself, this one, I will not take it.
Aye. Si umetoka kusema you don't argue with some things. So
No, si kusema publicly.
Hukumwambia cheki.
No, of course. That's not wisdom.
Okay.
But within me, I told myself, I looked back and I looked at how KB, the way sometimes you are struggling here and there. Sometimes reading teacher, and you used to see the ways the teachers
ana struggle
na walimu hawa. That time I'm young. I was too young, let me tell you. Ungeniangalia kwa hata ungenishangaa, hata ungeshangaa huyu jamaa akuwe teacher.
Wow.
But I can tell you, now I have told myself, Mimi, I will advise the board. I told myself, when I go and meet the board, I will advise the board what to do.
Not to place me in that position.
Not to place me. I have a better idea for
that. In graduate to leadership.
Yes.
I am a better person to advise you that I'm not the best leader for this.
I know.
Sasa nikajijaza kasema, now I will not tell the daktari off, but I will meet until the board. I will go and communicate this. Do you know what the idea was? My idea was I would tell them the best thing they can do, because I've seen these schools struggle academically. I've seen these schools struggle in many things, and I don't feel I have the capacity
to lead.
To liberate this school from where we have been.
Okay.
Children used to come and go and what have you, because I took this school when they had 430 kids. If you go back to the record, you see 430 children in KBS school then. So my proposal was they go to one of the best performing school, and my preference was Waraka Academy because they were doing so well.
I studied at Waraka Academy.
Yes, they were doing better than us. They go and poach a teacher who is a performer better than me. And they recruit him to become the head teacher. And I would be very okay with
that. Was your idea.
Yes.
Ulikuwa umesema
That was my idea.
Leo mnanisikiliza. Idea moto.
Yes. But I won't tell you who is God. Don't joke with God.
Hakusikilizangi wewe.
I remember in year 2010, April, because I remember receiving that call, late March. On 13th April 2010, I'm still battling. There are some battles within me. I went to sleep. Not okay. I wasn't very okay. At 3 a.m., I saw the light. Nimepoja stima. Everything is off. But now, the room was full of light.
It was very bright.
And I saw somebody with a shining like a star came and shook my hand like this. Do you know what this? Jesus Christ. If you have never had that encounter, I had it.
Oh, wow.
With Christ. He came and shook my hand. And he told me, Edward, I've gone this way, but I'm coming. Stand where you are. And then he told me, take your diary. Whatever I'm going to tell you is coming to pass. I still have that diary in my house.
You wrote it down?
I took the whole vision away to there. I took it and I wrote it down, everything that Jesus told me and what I saw. And let me tell you, do you know, at that time, I saw people run helter-skelter. To me, I'm not understanding fully what is happening.
In this vision that you have?
Yes, in this vision. I'm not understanding what is happening. I'm seeing people walking this way, running. Some with very, very unique cars, very powerful cars. They are driving their car very fast. I'm seeing them going. Mimi kazi yangu ilikuwa kuambia, Jesus has told me, you don't have to go that way. He is coming back, but you are not listening to me.
Wow.
It is after that, God gave me a revelation of what that meant. Because when I left, there were a lot of shake-ups here at this school. The people I was seeing learning, they are the parents who looked at me as a young guy with no experience. How can you be the head teacher? You better leave and go. And they left. A very big number of parents left.
When you became head teacher?
Yes. Very many teachers left. Yes, obvious.
Teachers quit?
Yes.
Yo.
Sasa, wewe unaamini aje kijana ambaye? Unaamini kijana ambaye anakaa fani. Umetoka ushago ati yeye boss na ametukuta hapa.
Kwanza umewakuta. And I'm answering to you. Yes. Ngumu kidogo. I can also imagine.
Hata mimi.
I can also imagine hata mimi naishia.
Tunaanza rebellion na huyo jamaa.
Kwanza siku ya kwanza ni go slow, siku ya pili ni Edward must go. Siku ya tatu we quit. Kama endi tunaacha kazi. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But I want to tell you, that was a turn allowed of this school. That was a time that this school turned allowed. KBA school. When you encounter God and God tells you this or that, just believe. I now gain confidence. Coming from God himself. Who can shake me? No. Devil.
Hizi ni vitu God amenishow.
Yes.
Mimi hakutumia sijui prophet nani, ni mimi aliniambia.
Yes.
I can imagine the confidence. I can imagine the confidence. Yeah.
I can tell you, within a very short time, I remember 2010, with all those shakeups, God started bringing children to school. 2011, from 430, we almost hit 600 plus kids.
This is an year later.
It's divine. No human effort here.
You can't explain that. It's
There are
only
things
through
that are
God.
beyond man.
Yeah. Wow.
And let me tell you, when it hit 2012, KBA was on top of the map.
Academically.
Performance
ilianza kushoot.
It was on top of the map.
Oh, wow.
Class 8 up there. Misco up there. Hey, we started now. People gain momentum. It was divine. This result came not because, remember these were the same teachers teaching, what have you, but there is something God has done that was so divine. And KB, God turned it around.
Everyone knew about KBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you went to 2023, 2013, 2014, the best school allowed.
Then my year tukaeka the highest mean ever recorded in the KBA group of schools.
Yes.
Really?
396, I
That
think.
was your mean score in your ear?
In my ear.
Yes.
Ian yenu ilikuwa?
Hiyo itaikuwa unbeat. Hata Ian akiwa na ma 450 zake.
Haikubita hapo.
Bora mean score ya class
390.
6.
That is such
I hope
a
I have my
testimony,
figures
honestly.
right.
That
Yes.
is such, like, you got into this school when things are not okay, and then you are witnessing
The
whatever
doings of the
God
Lord.
was telling you in your vision come to pass.
Yes.
Is it by this sijakuuliza, is this what God was telling you in your vision about KBA? Was he revealing to you about KBA, or was he revealing to you things about Edward?
No, Jesus just confirmed to me, I'm the one who has placed you in that position. It's not any human being.
Wacha kutafuta watu
But I have
wengine.
used human beings. You know, God uses people
True.
to do what they do. And now that's how I got the confidence now to understand I'm not here by accident. I'm here to pursue God's purpose until the time I'll be exiting this place. And I thank God because the board in this place, they are well enlightened people, God-fearing people. And they held my hands. They walked. Kwanza chairman, hey, you know that man is gifted in leadership.
Yeah.
Management. And I wish people tap from this man.
We will have him here to talk about leadership. We had him on our podcast. We've interviewed him. He was talking about medicine and all of that in pharmacy. But now we need to have him again to talk about leadership because there's a
please.
lot we need to
Oh,
learn
yeah,
about.
Please
Genius.
remind him that I am a great leader today because of what he did.
We
in my
will
life.
tell him that. And good thing we have video evidence. Wana tutamuonyesha
Yes.
kwa video.
Video,
Tuambie
audio.
Edward Mburu said tukwambie he's a great leader because of you. Well, and I know he watches so he can listen.
Yeah.
He's listening and he's hearing you say that. Wow.
Because I used to make a lot of mistakes. But he could call me in the office and tell me, we don't do things this.
This
Not
thing
in a
goes wrong.
not in a scolding way and what have you. Anakuja na wisdom yake, anapita hivyo huko, anapita, anakuja na anaona
Pole,
point.
pole. By the time anafika
Yes.
unaelewa.
Najua unaenda sometime because you are the head teacher or you feel you know it all. You know nothing. It's until now you hit the lock. You hit the lock and you realize here I need somebody with more
Wisdom
skills and wisdom
than me.
than you.
Wow.
Eh? So he has been of quite instrumental in my life and in my leadership skills. He held my hands. I mean, there is something I told him. I did not tell him on his face. I will not disappoint you.
Wow.
You'll be proud of what this guy will become. Even today, I'm outside there. What I gained in this school and what I'm doing to the world, he should know and the board should know. I'm a product, I'm a seed that came from them.
Wow.
I'm impacting the world and they will come to know when they leave this world. Because God will reward them, and maybe they will be standing ahead of me, nitakuwa nyuma yao, among the people whom they shaped. Now I'm standing behind them. God will be saying, can you see all these people?
Yeah.
They have turned around the universe. I used you. I don't know how happy they will be. So they were quite instrumental in whatever they were doing. When you go to the board meeting, they wanaleta policies which were classic. Things that even me, they were so green. I learned a lot from them. A lot.
Can you imagine, even as you're growing, as the school is growing, you also have to grow.
Yes.
As a person, as a head teacher, there's things you need to have very much new policies. Because from 430 in 2010 and then 2011, almost 600, 2012, ndio hiyo mmeanza
you are at 800 now that time. Tunahit the roof.
So you, as the school is growing, Edward is also growing.
Yes.
Policies are changing so that they can accommodate more people. So at what point did you find the need? Larry nimesikia akisema kuna time mlikuwa unapatana na wadimu for a meeting. At what point did you find the need to start talking to teachers about how to handle children? Because it looks like that this is it's something you're very passionate about. You did this when you became the head teacher? I'm sorry. Did you do this when you became a Oh, okay. That's when you got the platform now. Yes,
but the former head teacher, Bwana Monga, he had introduced something that was also very unique. He is also a very skilled man. I tapped a lot from him.
He owns a school, isn't he? He has a school.
Kimambora.
Yes.
Kimambora,
yeah.
He used to read. He is a man who read books. Actually, he was the first person to read this book.
Oh,
he's a great man. He's a great man. And he had introduced a system whereby he used to mentor us, to sharpen us. You know, he's a man of excellence. He taught us how to be excellent in whatever you're doing. Kama ni report form unaandika, you don't have to rap. If you rap, get another one. That's how you are trained.
Wow.
And the teacher who are passed through him, some of them are great people. They are great. They are doing marvelous. Teachers who pass through this man, Monga, they are doing so well. I think Mimi, I'm blessed. Nimerad in the hands of people who have really shaped me. And that's why I'm doing all what I can to do what was done to
others.
Impact others. So I did not introduce this system of training teachers. It was introduced by Mwanga, courtesy of board and what have you. And now I found a system that was learning. And I told myself, I will not be the one to terminate it. But there is something that God told me one day when I was in the office. He told me, I have not placed you here in this office just a mere head teacher. You are beyond a head teacher. When I got that, I realized, okay, there is something divine I need to do in this place. And you know now as a head teacher, see the other authority. Kwani authority ingine gani? Apart from the board about huko. Now when the board leave you in the school,
it's you.
Do what you think is right to be done.
Yeah.
If it is doable and it can make an impact in the school, you better do it. And to me, nilifika that level. So I started mentorship program. And because teacher believed in me so much, because of the mentorship I used to give to them. I remember I used to read a book, then I summarize the book. I prepare PowerPoint. Naenda na wa show pale. And walikuwa nafurahi sana.
Wow.
Because I was teaching them something that are beyond classrooms, that can help them even at personal level. And that helped my teachers not only to grow academically, also in other areas, emotionally, intellectually, business-wise, what have you, all manner of areas.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when you win people's heart,
Yes.
every other things fall into place.
Sure.
Everything starts from the heart. And when I got that wisdom from God himself, it helped me to learn this school. When I call for a meeting, teachers were ready to listen to what does this guy says. And also one thing that helped me also to run this school was I listened to God more than anybody else. You can't imagine, as a head teacher, sitting in the office, God was downloading some systems. He used to tell me, now wake up, go to the staff room, call the teachers and tell them A, B, C, D. If they do like this, they are going to succeed. And now that my work was only to listen, go and implement. Listen, go and implement. Sometimes God was telling me even to go to class and don't joke with God. God, when you walk with God and you are walking under his instructions, you cannot miss. You know, we normally say like this, between where you are and your destiny, in between, it is supernatural direction. Direction ordained by God himself. I don't know how many people know that. Between the challenges that you are going through today and where you want to go, you only need to hear the voice of God. What is God saying?
Ninaona virtue of obedience.
You know,
Yes.
what he's saying, that kuna saa hata akuwa nakuja si lesson, like it's a theory lesson, amechukua piso ni double lesson, atufunzwi atumii textbook, anakuja anatupea story. Sasa sisi tunasema at least leo ni story. Sana anatupea story za God.
Hamuelewi.
Exam inakuja, theory ilikuwa 30 questions. Yote ni application na amekuja kutufunza, amekuja tu hizo stories zote ametupea. Ni application, ni just like
Really?
this world iko hivi. Yeah, KCP yote ilikuwa application. So
Really? Mbona sikumbuki na tulifanya KCP
kufanya receive. Unajua mimi ni kama 2 or 3 huko sasa.
Acha
KCP.
Wa. Hata watu wako set hata watu wako
Yes.
behind the cameras wanacheka. I can see the virtue of obedience because it's not only about listening. You can hear and refuse to follow. And obedience
Is obedient.
is something that I think even as believers we fail to do. As believers, non-believers, everyone struggles with obedience because obedience is difficult. It's not easy to read a set of rules. Like nakumbuka kama ulikuwa unachapalari juu ya kutofanya homework. That is lacking obedience. Juu sabono kufanya.
Yes.
Now imagine God telling you that do this and this. You do not know what is going to happen. So, and you're supposed to, I can imagine how obedience is kitu rahisi. And even seeing you do these things and trusting that enyewe ni God amesema, so I have to do it. I mean, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And that, hivyo hata kusikia God akikuongelesha, that shows how intimate your relationship is with God to the point where he's giving you instructions directly. Hatumani, unajua kuna kama sijui prophet sijui nani. Ni wewe anakushow.
Yes.
And it is not even while uko on your knees praying. Even at your office desk, he's just giving, I think as believers we should just strive to have such a relationship with God. We should strive to have such a close relationship with God. You were the head teacher for 11 years. Yes. 2010 to 2021. What was your best year at KBA?
Okay. My best year, years were best for me. Because if there is something that I was sure of, is that next year will be a better year. To me, I woke up knowing next year will be better than this year. And for sure, it used to be like that.
Really?
We used to have a very huge waiting list and what have you.
Mlikuwa na waiting list ya kuadmit watoto?
Yeah. This place.
Waiting list. Unajua, mi najua waiting list ni ya mashule zingine kubwa. Like there are some major schools, international schools.
Yeah.
KBA mlikuwa na waiting list. Like you had to book your child the minute you get
You see, our sibling alijoin shule this year, but I think alibukiwa around September huko. Juu zinajaa.
Really?
Mama anambia, hebu tuende tukabukia mtoto saa hii. Juu kama ataadmitiwa next year credit.
Unaambiwa imejaa?
Unaambiwa imejaa.
I had
This is the KBA group of schools. Kahawa West campus.
It is coming from far.
See campus, Kahawa West campus.
Please stop it. Waiting list.
Yes.
Oh wow. Enyewe last year was better than this year. From a school of 30 students, now you have waiting lists.
From a school of one van to around, I think
16 now. Unajua kuna basi 16.
I saw 2 buses posted the other day.
16 1 2 ile ya white yenye ulikuwa unaona imeandikwa the KBA katika
size go 16.
wako na basi 16.
Tumecount vans
na van 4. Anyway, you were saying you always knew that last year this year is better, next year is going to be even better.
I think one of the best year was it is when we bought Maziwa. 2015.
Wow.
That school had 183 kids, I still remember. I remember we went down there and parents were called. Those who were there, they were new parents. And they were told now, tumenunua shule, this is KBA now, 183 parents. Of course, some exited. But to me, that achievement, I went back to what Jesus had told me. I will walk with you. You know, when God tells you, he told me that because I'm the leader. But there are people behind me.
Yeah.
They are teachers, they are students and what have you. But he has talked to me because I'm their leader. Up there is a boat. Why God chose to talk to me that way, so that it's maybe so that in my position, I can do what I must do and do it well. And to me, to have seen that success, looking back where we came from, to me, I saw truly God fulfill his word.
True. That hasina kitu ya kuongeza. Tasina kitu ya kuongeza. So why did you make the decision to finally leave KBA in 2021? After everything that you've seen KBA through, I can imagine that was not a very happy decision.
Yes, it wasn't. It was a tough decision.
I can imagine.
I know, because of the impact I had made in the society, and many students were passed through my hands, and the impact, and you know, even the parent, they knew who is Teacher Edward. Not because I was doing all these all alone. It's because I was their leader. I was the leader. The impact was so huge. And staying in the community you are living now, it is not something that was always. But back in my mind, I was still having that idea of one day I will own a school.
So that was a desire in your heart, even as
I've been having that desire of owning my own school, owning a school. And I had to make a tough decision. And that decision was even on my side. It was in my family. I remember even my children crying a lot.
Really? Oh no.
When they heard that I have left, I'm leaving. I remember when we had a farewell here. When now people realized that I am leaving because of the impact we had made. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. The staff here, until I asked myself, have I made the wrong decision? What is it? Because it was so emotional. It was so emotional. Because I remember the chairman calling the Maziwa team, no one were combined this hall here. They even made me even to cry at some point. Just to shed tears. But I made up my mind to go and pursue my dream. And my dream now has come to pass.
Yeah.
You know, when you start at school and one child comes, the dream has started.
True. True.
The dream has started, and I want to thank God because we are moving on well. I may not be somewhere up there, but I'm heading there.
Yeah.
To me, I know with God, nothing that is impossible. On top of that, I'm also doing many, many other things. I've not stopped impacting society in a positive way. I'm finding myself most of the time in churches, talking to people, invited as guest speaker, schools. I'm doing a lot.
How old is your school? Jina yake inaitwa? Shule yake inaitwa?
My school is called Sir Edward School.
Sir Edward. Unasikianga wasanii wanakuanga na self-named album yako na self-named school.
Sir Edward.
Sir Edward. Ulisema utafuti
Iko
jina
wapi?
lingine.
Iko Kiamombi. It's located at Kiamombi. Along New York Road. Yeah,
It's a
I
new
love
school.
it. It's a new school.
You said
This is our third year.
2022.
23.
2023.
Yes.
Wow.
It's third year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
It's growing.
It's growing, making baby steps every day.
Yeah.
Every day. With many challenges. You know, even in KBA, there is so many challenges when I came here.
Yes.
Sometimes unakosa hata kiti. Unaambia Mungu, sina kiti, nipatie, anakununulia. Because if you don't walk through that path, you never recognize where you came from. You always think that it is because of your skills that you are where you are. Yes.
I mean, the same God will saw you through. 11 years as a head teacher is going to see you through.
Yes.
Now as an owner of a school.
Uh-huh.
Haya. You are an author. You've
Yes.
written this amazing book, The Untapped Seed. Here it is. Mutaeka picha, itawekwa, ndio hiyo hapo mnaiona. A parental guide to help discover the hidden treasure in your child. What inspired you to write this book?
What inspired me to write this book? You know, to me, everything is all about God. Me, I'm surrounded by everything written God everywhere.
And it's amazing because you're not associating your efforts and your successes to yourself. You're crediting them with God because He's the only one who can help you through them.
The first time God told me about this book was year 2018. I remember I was in the office. And I had a voice telling me, write, do me a book. I thought I'm thinking.
Nadhani ni kasauti tu kana.
I think the flesh was more loud than the spirit. And I assumed the voice of God. Mungu unajua kwa gina haraka. God will never be in a hurry. 2019, I had the same voice. Nikajiuliza. Kwani hii sauti is telling me to keep on to write a book. Sasa mimi I'm a mathematic guy naandika kitabu na magari. I thought the watu wa kuandika vitabu ni wale watu wa languages and whatever. But I know I have the capacity because the things I've been teaching teachers are so unique.
True.
So I knew I have the capacity to do a book, but I'm just ignoring the voice. Now, 2020, Corona time, I am sitting in the office. The voice was so loud. Sit down now. Write me a book. My friend.
You had it.
Hey, I took a pen and a book. I started writing, scribbling.
On the same day?
Yes. Hakuna kugoja. And that is how this book was born. Because God told me, I have given you wisdom. That is not to the many people. I have given you skills. I have walked a journey with you. You know this hidden treasure about children. Because one day God told me, when you see a 3-year child come join your school in that baby class, what do you see? Just a child. God told me, when you see a 3-year child, don't just see a child. I see what they will become. If I created that child to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, at 3 years old, even at 1 year old, I see the president to walk in.
Oh, wow.
If I created you to become a great teacher who will impact the universe in a godly way, when you are still breastfeeding, mom, daddy, they see babies. I, as God, I see the final product.
Wow.
When God gave me that revelation, oh my.
Ili baby.
Now I realized there is something that you are missing. And I started writing this book, The Untapped Seed, referring the child as a seed. In this cover, on top you see there is a child.
Yes.
You see a child there
Yes, this one.
with some imagination in the form of flowers. Those are imaginations.
Oh, I had not even realized. Oh, wow.
This child is imagining one day I will become a forest.
Let me tell you, man. Ile kuchambua tulichambua gazette book. Hata sikuwa
Ndio niko hapo
nimeona.
sahi,
Hata
hata
sikuwa nimerealize. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, he's talking about this.
Yes.
This is the child.
The child being a seed. Imagining one day, huyu mtoto amekaa peke yake mahali. You can see there's a tree na kuna right paro inakuonyesha there is hope because the right signifies Jesus himself. The child knows I'm a child. I have the capacity to become but in between where the child is, this seedling and this forest, there is a journey. Who is in between this journey? The teacher is there. The parent is there. The people in the society are there. Church is there.
Yeah.
So I wrote a book and I call it The Untapped Seed.
Wow.
The seed that has not been tapped. And this is a divine revelation. It is a revelation that came from God himself. Actually, I remember when you are launching this book, God told me, this is my book. This is my book. So this book was born based on what God gave me a revelation about a child. A child is a seed, awaiting to become a forest.
Yeah.
But he also told me that even if a seed, the purpose of a seed is become a forest, it is not guaranteed it will. If you plant a seed on a rocky ground, expecting it to germinate, you'll be a very frustrated farmer because it will not.
Yeah.
But if you take a seed and put it in a fertile ground, it will grow and become great. How will you turn a child to become a forest? And I'm sharing the information that is inside here.
Yeah.
You cannot be able to change this child as a seed become a forest if God is not in the picture.
Preach it.
Jesus said in the book of Matthew chapter 7 that a wise man built his house on a solid rock. But a foolish man built his house on sand. Now the time will come for testing time. Strong wind will come, havoc of the earth, all manner of things that happen in the universe, storms and what have you. The house that was built on the rock will remain standing. But the one that was built on the sand will come down crumbling. The life of a child is like that. And God was giving me a revelation. Why did Jesus had to use a house and not a tree and not anything else? It's because every human being lives in a house. And is an example that everyone understands better than anything else. When Jesus is talking about the house, you know how you built your house and the foundation that you laid there.
True.
Today, society is rotten. Many parents are crying in the world. Oh, my children have become. I want to tell you, ask those parents, when those children were growing up, what the foundation did they lay? Today, I normally say like this. You cannot be able to build a wall, a roof without a wall.
Yeah.
The foundation that we are laying in the lives of the children, young as they are, it is what will make them to be what they will become in future. If you look at, for example, a 5-story building, it has gone up to 5th floor. I would like you to go and check when they were laying the foundation, how deep they went. So we normally say like this: how deep you go in a building determine how high to go. How deep you go as a parent and as a teacher in that classroom in shaping the destiny, knowing that this child has a destiny. You may like it, you may not like it. That is a true and that is a fact. And that's why God has placed you there. Actually, you have been put there as a co-worker with God. It is God who is supposed to be in that classroom teaching. It is God who is supposed to be a parent, but he delegated the responsibility to you. If you only know the position you hold and understand that you are laying a foundation and how you rate, it will depend on how far those children will go. You'll be very careful.
Yeah.
So this book is a very rich book. And just to make it to reinforce on what I've just said, there is a story I'm going to give about 2 minutes about 2 families. One family is called Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards, I have captured it here. Jonathan Edwards had a wife called Salai. They both had 11 children.
11.
Yes.
Okay.
A guy called A. Winship decided to do a research of this family. Jonathan Edwards, they were actually men of God. Every day when they go back home in the evening, they used to call their children every day, and they used to teach them the word of God, and they used to pray for them. There's this guy called A.E. Winship. In 19th century, he decided to do research of this family. After Jonathan Edward had died 150 years, after they have died 150 years, they wanted to know what did these children became from a family that feared God. And A. Winship is saying, after they did research, that's about 4 to 5 generations
Yes.
plus.
150 years.
And I can tell you, it is marvelous what was seen in that family. One child in those generation became a vice president of the United States of America.
Oh, wow.
Many guys, many children from that family, that generation that spread, became lawyers, judges, clergymen, professors, doctors, and great men in the United States of America. Then there is another guy called Jukes Mark. Jukes Marks, another guy did research about this family. At the same time, 150 years after they died. But there is something that they did not do that Jonathan Edward did. Jukes Marks, they did not fear God. And even when the children from this family told their father, we want to go to church, the father stopped the children from going because they did not believe in God.
Oh.
Now this guy did a research 150 years after they died, the same period of time. And it was so disappointing what was discovered. Most of the children died alcoholics. They are saying a number of women in those generation died as prostitutes. Some of them died in prison, and a big number died prematurely. It tells you the foundation of anything in this universe matters a lot. So this book I've written, it is not just a book. It is a book with a divine wisdom. It is going to help parents, teachers to understand your role as a parent. Because today, I said when I was starting that parents, they are being given the position, they are actually in a position of authority. Teachers as well. But Satan has entered parents and teachers to silence children's destinies, to destroy children's destiny. How? Because they don't fear God. What they do, they curse their children instead of blessing their children. A child, because they are not able to get A's like their children's neighbors, they think that they must get A's like their children's neighbors. Yeah, they don't know there is something unique God created inside them, these children. They start calling them names, calling them useless. You are a fool. Shame on you. Like particularly this word shame on you, I've really captured in this book. People do not know that the word shame on you, when you tell somebody shame on you, you are telling them shame to be on you. And those are the ones that will not die. Even when you grow, shame is still on you. No wonder you are fighting many children. Wamemaliza university, eza akapata job ya maana. Because shame is still following them. The people in authority spoke those words. And you know Jesus said in the book of John chapter 6 verse 63 that the word I've spoken are spirit and are life. Words don't die. They keep on following you. So this is a very rich book I've just written. I've actually tried to do a summary. You cannot be able to talk.
That is a
very rich book.
Watu wanainunua wapi? How can they order it?
For now, I'm organizing. I've already talked to the Kenya National Library.
Yeah.
Okay, you can find it there. It's only that it is now in the final stages.
Okay.
But if you go there and check on ebook, you'll find my book
It's
there.
Yes. Awesome.
It's there. I'm also talking with the Kenswick bookshops. What they do, they normally first of all read the book, and then because it's a Christian bookshop.
Yes.
You cannot take a secular book there. Mine is a Christian book.
Yeah.
I know it will be endorsed. I'm also planning to take it to all manner of bookshops so that whoever want to buy can buy.
Awesome.
But even if you reach me out
Through Facebook
and all of you, I just send as a pass wherever you are.
Delivery
Yes.
has made things
Yes.
easy.
Na hapa seller.co
Even
naiona hapa.
yes, even seller, but I realize that they're not very active. They're not very active.
Okay,
Do
awesome.
you have any other books you're planning to write?
Yes, I'm writing another book. I'm also going to do a second edition of this very soon. You know, I launched this book last year, November 9, here at KBS School. I remember last year I was in the church and I heard God tell me, now do me a book called Connecting to Generational Blessings.
So that's your next book.
I've already started writing.
Yeah.
Chances are by October, November to be out.
Awesome. Awesome.
God has looked at this country and has seen people think that looting money, leaving people to die, and leaving money, wealth to their children, the money they stole is going to help them.
Hiyo kitabu ukilaunch mimi niite tutaenda kusimama hapo nje ya parliament. Juwezi wamejaa parliament, so mimi uniite tutaenda hapo nje tuwafanyie hivi, buy this book and stop leaving stolen wealth to your generations. I will sell that. I will help you sell that book.
They don't know they are leaving curses to their children.
That's a curse. Oh my God. They do not know, but you're here to tell them. So that book, tunaenda kuzitandika parliament ikitoka. So thank you. Wow. Edward, you have such a beautiful story. And I love how you are crediting God in every single step of your life. That is the most beautiful thing. And how you've acknowledged and how you are walking in obedience and listening to instructions. It might get tiring, but wow.
He is recognizing everyone that was in the step.
Yes, there's that too. Like you've not forgotten the most significant people in your life. And that's amazing. People make it in life and then umeshasahau watu walikusaidia, umewakanyaga tu na vichwa and you're forgetting that they actually helped you. They lifted you up. I mean, you're a blessing. You're a blessing to the teaching industry, to the education industry. You're a blessing even to other parents.
Pupils as well.
You are a blessing, and I hope you continue to impact more lives. Wow. Even through your book, even through your school, the trainings that you do. I really pray that God continues to use you in the amazing ways that He has.
Amen.
And may He keep you to come back to BTP and have another episode with us.
I'll tell you how God also used him some time back. Kwetu kuna jua. Sawa? Kuna jua serious. Sasa mimi natembea. Then while I was walking, nikamuona. I saw his car on the roadside. Kama siyo ni mwalimu bana. Na venye jua imewaka.
Niendelee kutembea.
Hapana, nikaenda kwa gari yake nikakaa hapo mpaka akuje. Haijafungwa dirisha so nikajambia kwa around.
He's around.
Akuja, kwani unaishi hapa? Akamwambia wapi? Akasema exactly kwenye ninaishi.
Really? Nini neighbors?
Ingia kwa gari tukaenda.
Wow.
God is just used this man.
May He continue to use you, man. Thank you so much for even giving us your time to be here. And we are excited. So God bless you. Unataka kuambia our viewers kitu?
First of all, mona studio ama mjana studio. I love this studio. Good work, guys. Good work, producer, director. Everyone who's been actively, even not actively, just actively in this.
Salute.
But anyways, God did it.
God did it.
God did it.
I hope your sign inaonekana somewhere. Wide shot, view shot, over the shoulder.
Man, thank God sasa ati tunaweza sema camera 1 2 3.
Imagine. Inaonekana? Yeah. God did it.
God
So,
did it.
Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, episode 22. We are wrapping it up. So see you again on episode 23. God bless you. Subscribe, like, share, watch any other show that you're going to enjoy on BTP Studios. And let's see each other on the next episode. We love you. Bye-bye.